Welcome to the IEEE Future Networks podcast series, Podcasts with the Experts, an IEEE Future Directions digital studio production. In this episode, co-chairs Narendra Mangra and Rose Hu discuss the International Network Generations Roadmap, commonly referred to as the INGR. Narendra is a principal at GlobeNet LLC, and Rose is a professor of electrical and computer engineering and an associate dean for research with the College of Engineering at Utah State University. The INGR is stimulating an industry-wide dialogue to address the many facets and challenges of the development and deployment of 5G in a well-coordinated and comprehensive manner, while also looking beyond 5G. Rose and Narendra, thank you for taking some time to discuss the INGR with us today. Can you describe what IEEE Future Networks seeks to provide with the International Networks Generations Roadmap?
I think the purpose of the International Network Generation Roadmap, or INGR, is to provide a good platform for the general community, the technical dialogue to address the many ideas and challenges of the development and the deployment of 5G and beyond in a coordinated and comprehensive manner.
Can you describe some of the challenges that the roadmap takes on?
I think it's interesting for a roadmap to look at the different ways or paths forward. Not every path will lead to a productive solution, but we want to look at some of the obstacles or problems along the way and what needs to be solved and put the different groups that are looking at either solving problems or creating solutions or just looking at the overall vantage point for the different paths.
Yeah, I think to add what Narendra just said, I think the challenges itself actually comes from for the roadmap to quickly identify new technologies and its migrations and take lots of expertise to do that. And also because the scope of the roadmap itself is quite large. It covers the system side, hardware, and applications, technology from interface all the way to the network. So I think how to group people together to work in the comprehensive and coordinated manner, I think itself is very challenging, but also very rewarding.
Great. Now, who is contributing to the INGR?
I think it is a community effort. So all the technical community people from industry, government, and academia should be able to identify areas and work together and get all the benefits from that.
Yeah, and also I would say that the industry, government, and academia would have different focuses, obviously, whether it be research and development or policies or creating solutions. But we also have about 15 working groups, of which 6 of them are new that will be working in the second edition as well, that will have quite a diversity of different perspectives and provide a lot of benefits to the overall communities.
So the INGR has 15 working groups covering a very broad range of technology and business and social issues. What can telecom industry manufacturers learn from this first edition?
The first edition actually lays the structure and foundation for subsequent editions. So a lot of the work for the first edition actually was to build the frameworks and the pattern of how we're going to move forward for a lot of the working groups that at least has been started with the first edition that will continue on with the second edition. New working groups, I suspect, will be doing a lot of the foundation building in the second edition. But that should help shape a lot of the different areas for development to move forward.
Yeah, I think, to add what has been said, I think because we have 15 working groups covering a very broad range of technology, business, and the social issues, I think, from telecom manufacturers or in general from the telecom ecosystem perspective, different stakeholders should be able to identify and shape the, development of key areas of interest and also get, key inputs or outputs from what has been provided from this first edition to either provide guidelines or advice in each specific area from the whole ecosystem perspective. I think that actually is very important because the whole system design from the future 5G and the 6G beyond is really the efforts all together from the ecosystem perspective.
And what should, for example, an enterprise pay attention to?
I think from enterprise perspective, areas beyond the immediate sphere of the current focus, for example, 5G can be viewed as a network of networks and can drive evolutions in various ecosystems that result in shifting industry structures and also adjacent industry boundaries. So that actually is a very important perspective for enterprise to pay attention to.
Yeah, and to add to Rose's description, I mean, yes, for sure, that is a very important area for shifting boundaries to see where a particular company or firm may fall in. But also 5G moves well beyond just another extension from 4G with high-speed communications. There are a whole lot of different types of communications capabilities related to ultra-reliable, low-latency communications and Internet of Things as well that we need to factor in.
What would you like government representatives and regulators to learn from this roadmap?
I think this is important for government representatives and regulators to look at see what policies they can promote that would help implement some of the technologies that would provide benefits to society. And there are certain issues that should be sorted out sooner rather than later, especially as it relates to data security, privacy, and ethics.
Yeah, and also I think, through this roadmap, I wish we can get more active engagement from government representatives and the regulators, because the future 5G and 6G definitely the key issue of that, for example, is spectrum. And everybody's talking about spectrum 5G and 6G. That actually itself, the research, development, and the deployment, that actually both sides actually, from roadmap perspective, we can provide input, and from government representatives and regulators, they can provide lots of advice and guidelines as well.
With everything in telecoms network generations constantly evolving, how will the INGR effort address the constant change?
We actually consider this constant evolving nature of telecommunication networks from generation to generation. We actually have thought of defining roadmaps in both short-term and long-term perspective to address those different changes, such as 5-year, 3-year, 5-year, or 10-year scope, so that we can provide a coordinated and a structured approach to new technologies and enablers for the advance of society.
To add to Rose's comments, it's important to see where these different technologies would lead towards. So we want to see, give the full outlook to see where it can possibly lead towards. But part of this effort is also to really look at this as more of a structured approach, so we don't stumble along. And we're not saying that we can see the future to know where all things will lead, but we want to address this in a more of a coordinated approach as these different technologies evolve, to see where it will go and to be a guiding light for industries as well.
The INGR is a very large effort with a lot of people involved. What's needed for it to be successful for the publics you want it to serve?
At a minimum, we want to be able to have enough foresight to identify and prioritize the different areas of interest. So we welcome feedback from industry, government, and academia as well. And of course, we are always looking for volunteers for the 15 working groups we have.
Yeah, I think just to add what Narendra said, we actually actively try to engage volunteers from different disciplines and different segments, industry, government, academia, to get involved in both technical ways, but also help us to distill a broad and diverse perspectives and development into the general public. I think that actually is very important to help the success of this INGR effort.
And where can people go to learn more?
I think we have various ways actually to promote or disseminate what we are doing. So I think a good way for people to learn more is through our IEEE Future Network International Network Generation Roadmap webpage. So this webpage you can actually can be found online. And also we have like white paper and also different working group deliveries. So all those actually provide a very good technical content and also progress on what we are doing to the general public.
So in addition to Rose's comments, they can go to futurenetworks.ieee.org/roadmap, and we will be having periodic working group meetings throughout the year, and they can find out more information on the progress of the chapters.
Yeah, I think, that's a very good point. I have like something actually try to promote here as well, because associated with IEEE Network Initiative and this roadmap, we have different workshops and conferences such as 5G Summit and 5G Forum and some other related workshops. So we actually all welcome people to attend, and you can learn tremendously the state of art of this roadmap efforts there.
So we've covered a lot in this podcast, but is there anything else that you would like people to know?
We are just gearing up for the second edition of the INGR, and volunteers are welcome to reach out to the working groups at this point, so they can help steer as far as where are the content and what are the main areas that we should be focusing on, and to provide feedback as well as we move forward.
Yeah, and I don't have much to add. Just one thing I want to emphasize, because this is an effort that actually from the different experts from industry, government, and academia, and also experts open to public. So we do welcome and highly encourage volunteers to participate and to be part of this great effort.
Thank you for listening to this edition of the IEEE Future Networks podcast with the experts. Discover more about the IEEE Future Networks initiative and inquire about participating in this effort by visiting our web portal at futurenetworks.ieee.org.